Hello my lovely Padawans, and welcome to all of you duelists out there that like watching my videos. Today we're gonna have a deck profile of a deck built by one of my one of the members in one of the Discord groups that I am. I'm talking about the AOR group, and the person that made this deck is nicknamed Blackout. He is a really great guy and loves playing with pendulum magicians. And he was kind enough to provide me with a deck that he has called Showtime Performapals. And it is one of his current Performapal, like YGO based deck, pretty much. So this deck is intended for either its main purpose is for match duels, obviously, since it has a side deck, but it can also work for singles and even tag duels. So let's get right into the game. Right into the profile with the main deck. We have one copy of the Performapal or Ice Dissolver, which is one of the newer Performapal pendulum monsters. It's actually really good and the art is fucking awesome. One copy of Ice Pendulum Dragon, pretty straightforward. Three copies of Ice. He just used the this is the other art, or this, yeah, this is the same dragon. Yeah, three copies of Ice Pendulum Dragon. This is just an alternate art. Then one copy of the that's a shitty name to pronounce, Xiangqi Magician. Two copies of Performapal Daggerman. One copy of Performapal Drumerilla. Then two copies of the Ice Persona Dragon. So far these are pretty straightforward Ice / Pendulum Magician / YGO based deck monsters. Then of course you cannot go without one copy of the Performapal Skullcrobat Joker, one copy of the Performapal YGO Golem, which is actually a really nice level 4 scale 1 pendulum monster. It can also help you with the fusion plays, because its pendulum effect is that once per turn, if a monster is fusion summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can add one Performapal, Ice or Magician pendulum monster from your graveyard or face up in your extra deck to your hand. So when you fusion summon, you can get some recycling done. Then two copies of the good old Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer, which is actually one of the decent, like, early Arc V cards. I like it. Then two copies of a newer card now, Performapal Ice Minotaur. As you can see, there's a symbol on these cards. They're beta cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. They are not even in the OCG yet, but they will soon be. Then two copies of the Performapal Second Donkey. Again, vanilla. This is a vanilla Arc V card. One copy of the Performapal Radish Horse, which looks super funny, and I really like radishes. So, one copy of Performapal Stamp Turtle, aka the old man from Dragon Ball Z. One copy of the Ice Mirage Dragon, which is the cooler. It's the cooler Ice Dragons, to be honest. I like it because I like the color green, so that's why I like it. Three copies of the Charmander of Yu-Gi-Oh, aka the Performapal Lizard Draw. One copy of the Noble Dragon Magician. One Tuning Gum for them synchro plays, because he has some synchro monsters that he can definitely summon with his with this deck. One copy of Performapal Guiturtle. That's a weird name. And for the monsters, last three copies of the Performapal Ice Unicorn. Again, a very commonly seen in the last 2 years card. Now for spells, we have one for one, obviously, three copies of the Duelist Alliance, one Pendulum Fusion, because you need to be able to summon cards like Ice Venom Dragon, for example, two copies of the Illusion Balloons, two copies of the Field Spell Sky Iris that can allow you to pop cards, search cards, and do other crazy shit, and one trap card only, the Pendulum Switch. Now this is a pretty straightforward deck, and with this deck you can do really many things. As you can see, by his extra deck, and he also has some extra deck cards in his side deck. So let's go for through Blackout's side deck. One copy of Odd Eyes Venom Dragon, which is one of the cooler Pendulum Fusion monsters. One copy of Performapals Gatling Ghoul for when you need to finish your opponent with style and burn them to death. One copy of the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. One copy of Nirvana High Paladin, which is actually one of the better synchro pendulum monsters. One copy of the Odd Eye Swing Dragon, which is like his favorite pendulum synchro card. One copy of the Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, which is cool. One copy of Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which is fucking awesome as well. Now we go for the Xyz pendulums, starting with Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon, pretty standard. The Odd Eyes Raging Dragon. Then just regular Xyz, we have some rank 4 and rank 5 shits. We have the Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, your standard Utopia play, the 39 Utopia, and then Utopia the Lightning. You also have the Artifact Durandal, which is actually one of the better rank 5 monsters. Then you have the Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, and lastly we have the Castel, the Sky Blaster Musketeer. So if you don't like how the deck is as it is, right, as you know, up to this point, you can do some changes. And Blackout was kind enough to provide you guys, and me in that point, to you know, some other options in the side deck. We can use Performapals Odd Eyes Light Phoenix, which is nice. We can also use Performapals Pertnaga, or Performapals Goldfang, or maybe even Performapals Camelump. He's also included some Performapals Extra Slingers. And for the extra deck, you can also put in some of Yuya's original fusion monsters, like the Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon or the Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Or you can just special summon more Gatling Ghouls on the field and burn your opponent to death. If you like, if your opponent has some nasty shit on the field, you can get some number 106 Giant Hand. Also, you might, you know, if you're gonna use these guys, you're gonna need another polymerization. You can also get more traps, like a second pendulum switch, or you can be I'm sorry, you can be a nice guy and get some royal decrees if your opponent is playing many traps, you know, after the first round. So pretty much no matter what you do, even if you do not do any changes as the deck is right now, main deck and extra deck wise, this deck is both very fun and actually has a competitive edge in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Format, for TCG of course. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, my lovely Padawans, and give it a like. If you have deck ideas, be sure to check the video description. There is a link to my Discord group. Join that group. There you can chat with me, voice chat with me, play with me, not in the sexual way, and also share your ideas and just have a fun time, and also give me decks to make deck profiles on. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.